Summer is here, and for most kids that means it's time to head outdoors. But between the sun, the heat, insect bites, there's a lot that kids and parents need to watch out for. So joining us now to share some tips on keeping your children safe this summer is pediatrician Dr. Larry Rosen. Dr. Rosen, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Obviously, summertime is so much fun for kids, but they are spending a lot more time in the sun than they usually do. So we think right away about sun protection.
Yeah, absolutely. And there have been new regulations about sunscreens, which we're starting to hear about. For the first time, we're thinking about regulating them and about, what SPF is the best, 10, 30, 100. The truth is, it's really about providing a physical barrier to the sun. There are UVA and UVB rays. We have to be careful about both of those. Most good sunblocks will protect against both, but there are some that contain two active ingredients that we really want to use, either zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. Most of the great natural sunscreens that we use provide one of those two, if not both, and they're perfect for UVA and UVB protection.
Fantastic. You brought some examples with you, but it's not just the sunscreens, right? You say we should be putting the hats on our kids. What if our kids just, my sons refuse to wear a hat? I mean, as soon as it goes on, off it goes.
It's off. And sunglasses too, and a lot of ophthalmologists now are concerned about sun damage to eyes, and so we try to stick those sunglasses on babies, and they don't always want to. But the truth is, especially if they're under 6 months of age, you really want to be careful about direct sun exposure for long periods of time. Absolutely.
So really keep trying, do your best.
Yes.
Now, what about the inevitable, well, hopefully they don't get sunburned, but sometimes they do. What about the sunburn? How do we treat it?
So first of all, we're trying to protect them from getting sunburned, but inevitably it does happen. We think that we're doing the best job we can, and we miss that patch somewhere. So there are some great natural ways to soothe sunburns. Unfortunately, a lot of the over-the-counter products we've traditionally used contain a numbing agent called benzocaine. Benzocaine is really good to numb skin, so if you have a burn or a sting. The problem is, now we know it can cause a rare but serious side effect called methemoglobinemia. And we want to stay away from those benzocaine products in young kids.
And what does that do to children?
Well, what it can do in very rare cases, especially in babies, is it causes a change in the red blood cell, how it carries oxygen. And so they can become blue or have less oxygen in their body. So again, it's a very serious but fortunately rare side effect.
So this is a relatively new development. A lot of products are going to be pulled now. Common products.
Yes, sprays. The number one question we get is actually about teething gels. Parents that use topical gels on their baby's mouth when they're teething to numb. Well, a lot of those products contain benzocaine, and they need to have alternatives. Fortunately, I've found that there are some really good homeopathic alternatives that we have here that I think work better than those, and they're natural and safe.
Great. And did you also find some alternatives for sunburn treatment?
Yes. Yeah, and so there are a couple of things found in nature that work really well. Aloe vera. If you have an aloe plant at home, which is a great plant, it looks interesting, you can just break open a leaf, take some of the gel, and just apply it on a sunburn.
What could be more natural than that?
It's very simple, and it does come, there are gels you can buy that are more convenient to carry with you. Also calendula, which is another from the marigold plant, natural soothing skin product.
And you wet those washcloths? Is that what they're there?
Yeah, those are just cooling actually. Ice or cool compresses, which really work well. If we talk about teething as well, it's the same thing for sunburns. Just cooling helps.
Very good advice. Now, what about bug bites? Sometimes even animal bites, what do we do about those bee stings, those kinds of things?
So summertime's a great time to be outside, but inevitably what comes with it, bugs. And there's a lot of worry about stings and bites. Fortunately, the signs of those are usually local. They're swelling or redness or itchiness. They're not systemic or breathing problems for the most part. So it's about topical treatment. Again, it comes back to things like cool washcloths or applying ice or an ice bandage or a pack of frozen peas. That works really well, but there are some really good natural remedies that help with stings in particular. I use a lot of essential oils. We use tea tree oil or peppermint oil. Mint or other cooling oils can just be dabbed with a Q-tip or your finger just on the bite or the skin, and it cools and numbs it right away.
Very handy. Now, what about when you're traveling with your kids, which is so much fun, but you do need to be prepared, right?
Yes.
What advice do you have?
So Summertime's the time we travel a lot. We go around, we go to the beach, or we go out in the woods and we go hiking. And I think it's good to have a first aid kit of sorts with you when you're traveling, things that you feel like in a pinch you might want to have. We have a bottle of water, of course, to remind us about staying hydrated.
Staying hydrated, absolutely.
And that's a key thing during the summertime.
Absolutely.
We want to be outside. We want to play. We want our kids to enjoy nature, but we want to do it safely.
Absolutely. Dr. Rosen, thank you so much for all these great tips for parents. And don't forget, you can follow ABC News Now on Facebook and Twitter. Just search ABC News Now. We'll be right back. Next time on Good Morning America Health, de-bloat your bloat. We'll tell you how to prevent and diminish abdominal bloating.